Chris Ockenville.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Tēnā koe. I would like to acknowledge the participants in this settlement. Ngāti Apa Kei Te Rātou, Ngāti Kuia, Rangatani o Warao, Ngāti Koata, Ngāti Rarua, Ngāti Tamaki, Te Tau Ihu, Te Ati Awa o Te Waka a Maui, and Ngāti Toa Rangatira. Mr. Speaker, I am speaking from the desk of the Honourable Tau Hinari, who I am sure would like to be here with you today. I will not say that I am speaking on his behalf because I wouldn't attempt to emulate his skills. But I would like to acknowledge also the wonderful work of the Minister of Treaty Settlements, the Honourable Chris Finlayson, who I think from all sides of the House is respected for the work he has done. But of course he has only been half of the combination that it takes to form these agreements. This is a particularly important agreement. I find it important because in my 9 years here I have spent 3 of them as the electorate MP for West Coast Tasman, and so I'm familiar with that part of the northern part of the settlement. But the national-led government is making great progress. And this bill, this one, is very special because it finishes the work that the national government began in the South Island with Ngāi Tahu. This is the final settlement, so it makes it particularly special. Settlements, of course, recognise the rights and wrongs of the past and strengthen partnerships between the Crown and Māori. They also help settlements help unlock the economic potential and boost the regional and provincial areas in keeping with National's priority to build a more competitive and productive economy. I was very comforted, Mr. Speaker, to hear that and I'm not on the committee, but I understand from previous speakers that the Wakatū situation has been taken into account, has been addressed, and while it may not have resulted in a situation that is satisfactory to everybody, the matter has been addressed and has been fully worked through. And I think that is the very important thing. The bill does a number of, the Select Committee has examined the bill carefully and has brought through a number of recommendations, which I'd just like to address now. The Woodbourne Air Base. This bill will allow Ngāti Apa, Ngāti Kuia and Rangatani o Warao to exercise the right to purchase the land at Woodbourne Air Base by way of redress. Part of this land was acquired by the government for defence purposes from the estate of George Fairhall. Members of the Fairhall family, as we heard from other speakers, have opposed the inclusion of this land in treaty settlements as they consider this will override their rights under Section 40 of the Public Works Act 1981, and they have commenced a judicial review. So again, the process will take its time and the results will reflect, I'm sure, a sense of justice. It's always quite interesting to reflect on what is being achieved with these settlements, particularly, as I say, under the authority of the present minister. If you reflect back, I can think back to my own origins, which are Scottish, and of course they had the Highland clearances, which have, yes, indeed, Scottish. That's why I've got a hairy nose. The clearances were never really properly addressed, and they still, to this very day, are a source of grievance to people whose relatives were so affected. And so that while there are injustices, the important thing about the New Zealand society, the New Zealand community on both sides, is that they are working together to address these and to create a fairness and a decent outcome. I guess it's a case of, if I could just conclude, Mr. Speaker, exercising with caution my limited skills in Maori. Let us wield the paddles of the canoe as we move forward together. Takina te hoi kia rite. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Sir.
Honourable Shane Jones.
Ai, te tuatahi me kōrero hau I roto I tō tātou reo Māori, hei tātou